Hey everybody, how you guys doing today? My name is Nick, otherwise known here online as Avialence. We are back in Sins of a Galactic Empire today, working on our Borders of Janara campaign, and I do apologize that there hasn't been a video for quite some time. I'll go ahead and explain that a little bit later here. I think the last one was earlier October. But anyway, we went ahead and left off last time right in here, and we're pushing against the Praetorian Vong now. We just took Morcana, however their culture is too strong for us to go ahead and take over this area, so our frontal fleet is here and they're doing some major work. Basically, why I didn't get an episode last week, and also a little bit before that, is Extra Life. I was planning a lot of Extra Life stuff, and for those of you who don't know, Extra Life is actually a 24-hour gaming charity marathon. And this year, I went ahead and I reached out to the local hospital and a lot of other people to go ahead and try to get things, better for our stream. We did a 24-hour live stream. We actually played a lot of Sins, which was awesome. I'll talk about that here in a second. But it was fun, and I had a good time, playing the game and, raising money and stuff, and we played a lot of different games, but it was a blast. But the one thing and the point of I didn't consider is how much time it would take up. It was midterm week for me last week. For those of you who may not know, but do watch this series, I am also a college student, full-time college student, so a lot of that takes priority, unfortunately, over my work here on YouTube and the stuff I'm trying to share with you guys here. So I do apologize about that, but we're back in Borders of Janara campaign, and hopefully we're going to go ahead and take this system this week. I'd like to go ahead and wipe out as much of the, what's the actual ham? It's the Praetorian Vong, but okay, so they literally are the Praetorian Vong. I like to wipe out as much as the Praetorian Vong as, I possibly can. So we'll see how it goes here.
Preparing the jump to hyperspace. Preparing the jump to hyperspace.
And they are friendly with me.
Jump to hyperspace.
Okay.
Jump to hyperspace.
So we did wipe out a lot of them, the Jabami nationalists, over when we took Argo 6 and stuff, but they seem to have a decent relationship with us. Let's see if we can get them to attack Keatum. Be awesome if they would. Yeah, but I messed a lot with, so Extra Life, I did play a lot of Sins of a Galactic Empire during the Extra Life campaign. We actually played it for 10 hours straight, and if you guys haven't checked it out already, I highly encourage you to go over to my Twitch page. It's www.twitch.tv/AvialenceTV. I stream a lot there, and I do stream a lot of Sins. So if you guys are interested in hanging out live and watching some Sins one of these nights, definitely drop by. I know I'm working on Evil Within this week, but Sins typically takes place on the weekends or whenever I have like an off night. So definitely drop by for that. It's a lot of fun, and we do the live ship names and everything of that nature. Alright, so it looks like the Vong are here. Let's target their heavier ships, because these lighter ones aren't going to be too hard to take out. Our fleet is doing a lot of work too. That was one thing. So when I played the Extra Life stream, I went ahead and I took a peek at a couple different factions. I played as the Empire versus the Republic versus the Vong. I like having that third player dynamic in there, I also played as the Republic versus the CIS versus the Vong, and then finally the CIS versus the Vong and the Republic. And oh my god, the CIS are amazing. I built so many Lucre Hulk battleships. We had 2 Malevolence classes, and we were terrorizing. But I ended up playing a lot of diplomacy, and we haven't done a lot of diplomacy here. Actually, haven't really even explained the system, which I'll talk a little bit about today, I suppose, as some commentary here. But I was doing that and having a good time doing so. But the diplomacy system, man, is so in-depth in this game, and it's extremely interesting to go into. So I tried to do early diplomatic relationships, right? And God, it did not work out well. So now that I've kind of got a bit of a better understanding for the diplomatic relationships in this game, I'm going to go ahead and start utilizing them, because they're extremely powerful depending on how you can play other factions. So you can play other factions against each other, which is honestly one of my favorite things to do, because you can really mess with them. It's really, really neat. And I didn't even consider the diplomatic system in this game until I went ahead and checked that out. So if I remember correctly, we have Nam Creole is over here, and all the awesome names that I totally mispronounce on a consistent basis. Let's see here. Trade Post, Tridox, and I am at Fleet Cap, so it's not going to matter.
Ready.
So we've got a Bayonet class, yeah. We're going to have to lose some ships before we can build more on these 2 fleets. But no, the diplomacy in this game, quite interesting. And I had a very good time, you know, figuring it out and understanding how it worked. It was really, really neat. So I had a good time figuring that out. So, I mean, I'll go ahead and I may as well discuss it here. So we're going in and we're going to go ahead and take Quirmia, I don't know, whatever. We're going to go ahead and take that, but I'll explain the diplomatic relationships here. So, you know, here you've got your military, your empire, your diplomacy, your economy, things of that nature. And one thing that I noticed is you can go in here and you can give credits, or you can, you know, shift give credits, or you can shift control give credits, you know, to give increased amounts. And these give you like a relationship standing. But these relationships you can actually manage with the AI and offer trade packs, which will increase your trade's value with that specific faction, efficiency packs, resource packs, hyperspace packs. There's a lot of different things here. You can offer it to them, and most of the time they'll accept if it, you know, means something like a decent relationship. But you can see here the Vong absolutely hate me. I can still offer him a mission and put a bounty on the Jabimi nationalist head, and then they may actually accept that, and it'll improve our relationship. It's really cool. So like here, you know, I went ahead and offered a mission to the Jabimi nationalists to go ahead and attack the Praetorian Vong on Ketum. So they have 31 minutes to complete this mission, and if they do, they will get a reward and it'll increase our standing. It's really cool, I gotta admit. And like, you know, once you start to dive into it, you start to realize like this is a very in-depth system to this game, and you can actually dominate people through culture and by manipulating other factions to do things. It'd be really cool in a player versus player game, but the online versions of this game are still pretty unstable because of crazy hard desync. The desync on this game is rough, which is why I don't do any multiplayer on it right now. But I mean, it's wild. You know, playing a game like that would be really cool. Take a day off, you know, get a bunch of the guys together and play a giant game of Sins. I mean, it'd be really sweet. And we are destroying the hell out of that planet, and this is one of their artifacts. So they decided to fail the mission. They aren't going to accept the mission. So we took Qumeria, that's fine. Let's go ahead and take Aldemar. Do we have a smaller fleet? We really don't, do we? Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I want a smaller fleet just to know if they're trying to recolonize. Let's see here. Okay.
Standing by.
We'll have this fleet go ahead and
Confirmed. Roger.
head over.
Right away.
Because I do want to know if these guys are recolonizing or not, right? We want to stop them from doing so. But that's what the culture influence stops us from immediately taking them over, so a little frustrating.
Ready.
Let's go ahead and continue to work on
Calculate
this.
jump to light speed. Calculate jump to light speed.
No, but I also wanted to go ahead and chat with you guys about the Borders of Janara campaign. You know, this is obviously a much longer Let's Play, and I know I haven't been as, you know, steady with it as I would have liked to be. But I'm curious, you know, are you guys still enjoying it? You know, what are the highs and lows of the campaign? I know a lot of people have just said, hey, faster episodes, right? But I'm always curious, you know, so are you guys still enjoying the campaign? If you have any recommendations, things of that nature. I know I did ship names too. I apologize, I did not actually look over any comments or requests for ship names before this episode. I'm pretty sure there were not any though, so I think I'm okay. But, you know, just let me know. I'm always curious, guys, because, again, this is a conversation between me and you, and I'm trying to improve the YouTube channel here and do content that people are enjoying and things of that nature. This is very much a new experience for me. You know, I've only been on YouTube for 3 years, and in those 3 years, you know, I started this channel when I was in high school, and now I'm in college here, and I've learned a lot since then, you know. So it's all about improvement. I mean, getting into the YouTube community now and getting recognized is also extremely difficult. I've found out, like, wow, a lot of crazy stuff going on there. Is this... Okay, so there's the smaller fleet. We'll go ahead and finish that. But it's crazy. There's a lot of people trying to get in the YouTube community now because it's become so popular. And, you know, just last year I learned about partnerships and that I could actually make money off of the YouTube channel and things of that nature. So it's very much a learning experience for me. I mean, I released a photo mode video on Shadow of Mordor, which got around 8K views because it was picked up and circulated by Kotaku as a demonstration video. But I also thought it was really funny that, like, in the YouTube comments, it was a lot of negativity. which I thought was kind of interesting. I mean, 8,000 views, so 8,000 people have watched that video, and all they have to say about it is negative things. I pronounced vignette wrong, for example, which it hasn't been like eating away at my heart and soul, but I just think it's kind of funny. I appreciate a correction. I always do, especially if I'm wrong, and when it comes to any sort of grammatical term, because I love to learn off of you guys, you know. And when it comes down to it, you know, there's a nice way to say it and there's an extremely rude way to say it. And there were plenty of extremely rude ways to say that, and a lot of them kind of came through that way. I know I'm not an expert on everything, you know, and I know I'm just starting a YouTube channel here, and I'm not pretending to know everything about everything I talk about, because it's a learning experience. But I was just really surprised, you know, that people are doing that. There's a lot of people on YouTube, too, that have you know, disabled YouTube comments, which I think is really interesting, because a lot of the people that are truly involved in their community are involved with them on other social media websites like Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, etc. And I think it's kind of interesting that a lot of people are starting to do that. I don't feel like I have a big enough following to do that. I know a lot of you guys actually don't follow me on Twitter, which you should. Tweet me at Avialence, all the things. I love tweeting to you guys. Twitter's just so nice. But, you know, it's interesting. Coming from a smaller YouTuber's perspective, I mean, I understand why they're doing it entirely, but I also think it's interesting that they are doing it. But I guess, you know, when you have that many people watching your content, you got to filter through all the bullshit. And when you think about it, it's a lot of bullshit. And it's just, I thought it was kind of interesting, you know? Maybe it's just me. I couldn't tell you, but
Roger that.
I definitely think it's interesting the way that a lot of YouTube things are becoming, you know. You've got a lot of popular channels that focus on one game, and I know here, this is my personal channel, you know. If I wanted to do a Call of Duty Nation channel or something, right, or something that was really focused on a single channel or a single title, I would definitely do that. Like, I think a prime example of that is Dado Does Destiny. If you guys haven't heard of him, he actually started a entire community based around Destiny. I think he's a little, I personally would be a little bit disappointed because Destiny was not at all what was advertised. Still a great game, don't get me wrong, and I'm still enjoying Destiny, but it's just, it's different, you know. I don't know what I'd do if I had to focus on a single game, because gaming to me, I mean, it's art, right? And you're going on so many, you're going on so many adventures, right? And you're doing so many different experiences, and all of these experiences have let's listen to hyperspace here for a minute. I honestly wish they wouldn't say that. Like, I wish there was a way to turn that off. And so far as I know, it does not exist. But I would love a way to turn off all the hyperspace jumps, because guys, I get it. You're going to hyperspace. I told you to do so. You know, we understand.
Yes, sir.
We understand. We get it.
Preparing the jump to hyperspace. Jump to hyperspace.
We know
Jump to
what's happening.
hyperspace.
All right, is everyone out of hyperspace now? I think we're waiting on
Preparing
one
for
more.
hyperspace jump.
Oh, how many more hyperspace people are there? I want to talk about video games.
Jump to hyperspace.
No, but you know, back on to what I was saying here. It's like with video games, I don't know how people only play one game, you know, because it's, I just see it as difficult, you know. I've played a variety of different games, and I enjoy playing all of those different games and kind of changing around. I was actually looking at a game called Lords of the Fallen, which comes out tomorrow, that I was really interested in taking a peek at. And it's just, you know, I couldn't stick to that solo game. So I know here we skip around a lot. Not everyone wants to watch all the same games and things of that nature. But it's really interesting. I don't know. I mean, I really like to get into a lot of these YouTube conversations and talk, because, you know, this is a casual thing for me. I make YouTube videos because I enjoy making them and hanging out with you guys. This is not a business thing for me. This is not, you know, me trying to create an entire network. Although I think we've come up with a pretty cool community here, which is really neat. But, you know, that wasn't my original goal. It was just like, hey, I'm going to make a video and maybe people will watch it. But this is a casual thing for me. So when I like look at it and analyze a lot of these other bigger YouTube channels where people like depend on this kind of stuff, it's interesting. I'd love to sit down and like have coffee with a couple people, you know, that run some of these higher up YouTube channels, because it's got to be interesting to like see what these people do, you know, and work on statistics and how they plan their content and things of that nature. Because here my name is Nick, otherwise known as Avialence. Let's talk about video games, and like that's my thing. That's my mantra. But I think it's extremely interesting that there are a bunch of people who don't do that, right? They focus on a single game. They focus on a single aspect, and they really work to do it. which I think is very neat. I mean, like, one of the guys that I personally watch his stuff just because I am interested in what he has to say. But I don't respect the way he does it. Is Angry
Calculate jump to
Joe,
light speed.
right? You guys know Angry Joe. You have to know Angry Joe. He does video game reviews. And a lot of his reviews, are like really interesting to a degree. He points out a lot of amazing flaws, but he does it in like a sort of character-esque style thing. Angry Joe. He's mad, he yells, he gets all upset about it, and like that's fine. That's typically not how I, would do a review, right? Like yelling at my audience and things of that nature. That's not what I would do. But it's extremely interesting to see like how he structures his content, because you go from these like extremely angry reviews, right, and these rants and stuff, to like this very nice civilized developer discussion. And like I don't know, I understand what he's doing, and like he's made an amazing community, and he's got some amazing content there, and he does know how to critique games. I may not agree with the delivery, but he does know how to critique games, and it's just so interesting. I'm curious how he runs this thing, how he plans his content, how he made his contacts and things of that nature.
Right away.
Because there's so many different elements that are in there, and it's just like, wow. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about that kind of stuff. I don't know. We're talking philosophically in today's episode. I apologize. I've been on that whole philosophical note lately, to be honest with you. Like, for those of you that went through college or are in college right now that watch my content, I mean, when you have those days where it's just like, yeah, I don't feel like I'm doing everything properly right now. Like the whole, let me just sit back, have a drink, and question my life. That's basically what my mind's been saying for the last day and a half, and I happen to be recording a Sins episode on that day, so a lot of it is in here, and I apologize. I don't really apologize. We all go through it. Plus, I always do love talking about that YouTube mantra. It's interesting, because like here in the channel, I've been thinking about like what kind of content that you guys made it be interested in seeing, and it's constantly on the back of my head, and I'm trying to think like, okay, well, would they like to see this? Would they like to see this? Would this be interesting? And in the end, I do make a lot of those decisions. Obviously, I'm the only one that runs this channel. I don't have anyone else helping me out. But when it comes down to it, I'm sitting here thinking like Evil Within. And when Evil Within originally came out, right, I wanted to do a quick video on it. Actually, have footage to do it. I recorded B-roll to do it, to just talk about survival horror and like a return to survival horror. Never got around to doing it, and now I'm just sitting here thinking, where the professional in me is saying, man, is it too early to release something, or too late to release something on the Evil Within, against the, casual me who's like, who cares? I want to talk about the Evil Within, and I constantly have that mental dilemma here on YouTube. So, I don't know, I just think it'd be really interesting to sit and discuss with a lot of people like, hey, so this is what it's like, like, how do you come to these decisions? How do you make these decisions? It's cool. Like, I really appreciate YouTube for what it is, too, because it's made such a really cool community, just in general. And there's so many, like, sub-communities within said community. I mean, I've been watching Video Game High School. It's one of my biggest obsessions. And, when I first started on YouTube, and before I started on YouTube, I was a huge fan of Freddie Wong's and the little shorts he did and things of that nature. Like, it was awesome, And it was interesting to see Freddie Wong and now the guy he's working with, Matt, like make this Video Game High School thing, and it's cool to watch like the first episode of the first season, and now I'm on I think it's the 4th episode of the previous season, or the new season that they just released and spent the last year filming, and it's like the difference is amazing, and I love to look at it on my own content too, where it's just you sit back and you're like, holy crap, like I used to be horrible at this. Like I used to be so bad at this, and now you just kind of sit back and you look, and it's amazing. Like when I first started doing videos, right, I played Star Wars, what was it? It was the MMO, the Star Wars MMO. Oh, Star Wars The Old Republic, right? I played that, and I did a couple of video commentaries on that, and it was horrible. The screen wasn't even full 16 by 9. And it's kind of funny to like look back at that. And then, even when I did, many of you guys who are watching this series, I'm sure are fans of my Republic at War series, which I did last year. I had absolutely no idea, what I was doing. And now I've kind of gone into this, and I think there's like a different dynamic to the way I base my commentary and stuff. And, I hope you guys do enjoy it. I really do, because YouTube's my little outlet, right? I mean, a lot of people, they'll go and grab drinks with their bros, and a lot of people will go and talk about things with their coworkers, or talk about the industry at various talk groups and stuff. And what I've kind of done here is like YouTube is just like my conversational outlet into a lot of things. It's really interesting. And it's a learning experience for me. I've learned a lot from YouTube. I've learned a lot from you guys, and I'm extremely happy that I've been able to do that and, continually improve. Hopefully, a lot of people do enjoy my content. But there's always those questions, like, for example, why do I have almost 4,000 subscribers, which is amazing. But why do my videos only get around 100 to 500 views a video, right? If I have 4,000 people that are subscribed to my channel, why do my videos only get a small amount of views depending on the video? And that's something I've always kind of pondered. I don't know. I'm probably going to get back into that after all these guys hyperspace it.
Preparing for hyperspace jump.
Just need a drink. I'm having some Mike's Hard Lemonade right now. It's only Monday. But man, guys, like, it's brutal. After I film this, and probably while I'm uploading this and you guys are watching this, just keep in mind that I am working on another midterm exam, which is an absolute blast. So it's fun.
Ready.
It's a whole lot of fun.
Engaging the enemy.
All right, let's go ahead here, and it looks like we're on the Pretoria Vong's home planet here. That's a Class 3 dry dock. We may actually wipe out the Pretoria Vong here in a minute. Oh no, pirates. They come in after me? No, they're hitting the Jabimi nationalists. Perfect. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I always kind of thought on that note with YouTube, like, why, if I have so many subscribers, do such small amounts of the subscribers watch all my videos? I don't know. I think a lot of you guys here that watch Sins, I don't see you watch a lot of my other commentary and things of that nature, and I've been a little bit all over the place, so maybe that's it. I couldn't quite tell you, because I know YouTube, it's a lot harder to keep subscribers' attention nowadays. It's a lot harder than it used to be, because there's so many different channels to watch, and so many people are involved in so many different communities. It's interesting. It's very interesting for sure. And I mean, like, again, this is a discussion, so if you guys have any comments on any of this, my content, what I do here, any of the previous stuff I talked about with YouTube and like various YouTubers, dude, drop it in the comments, because I want to hear from you guys on this kind of stuff. Whenever I release like a video blog, I do a commentary and I'll pick a topic. But the thing about this video blogs is it's like, here's one topic. I have to get it done in like under 8 minutes, roughly speaking. So, that people are watching, like, these things are kind of my little conversational outlets. I don't know. I typically talk about all this stuff with my stream too, so if you guys are into this conversation and you want to actually like participate live, dude, hit up my live stream. I'm telling you guys, it's an absolute blast. I've honestly preferred Twitch more over YouTube in the last couple months just because of the interactivity. It's instantaneous. I can ask a question and have this kind of conversation, and boom, you guys are responding to me immediately. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. Here on YouTube, there's the comments and stuff, and I do my best to reply to all the comments you guys give me. You guys know that, but I don't know, man. See, I'm sure you guys can tell at this point in time, dude, Avi's having a hell of a philosophical day right now, because I really am. Hell of a philosophical day. It's been crazy. I mean, with Extra Life this year, we raised a lot of money and stuff, and I'll be releasing a video this week talking about Extra Life and an Extra Life recap and stuff. But man, that advertising process was crazy too. A lot of miscommunication. A lot of miscommunication, but I was happy to get out of the way. So again, that's why I actually didn't do videos last week. I think I talked about it at the beginning of this video, but, just busy with all those emails and stuff. It takes up your time, and that's something I didn't really think about until I was in the midst of all these emails. It's like, holy crap, like, this is time consuming. This is taking up a lot of my time. What am I going to do? It's nuts. All right, so we've taken out the Super Capital Factory.
Commander.
I feel like the Vong were stronger
Roger that.
than I'm remembering here. Pretoria Vong has been defeated. They're gone. All right, well, let's go ahead and wipe the slate clean here. We should be able to start taking over these planets now as well. Now, that one that I sent over here, so hostile culture is still too strong. So I will have to separate the culture, but I did take out the Vong here. So I can go ahead and start taking over this entire system, actually. let's take out Findar and then Ketum and Asfandia. So the Jabami Nationalists probably aren't going to like me much. We'll go ahead and toss them some credits. We're good on Neutronium, and wow, like, I'm like looking at these numbers up here, and I'm like, okay, we're good. We got a lot of credits here. We've got a lot of Neutronium here, and a lot of Lamite. When I was doing the extra life stream, you know, I did not have these resources at my disposal, so it's really nice that we're doing work over here. Looks like I just got a Steam achievement. I'm not sure if you guys can see that in the lower left-hand corner, but Wrecking Crew. Yeah, I have no idea what that means. Let's see. So we're still on decent relations with the Jabami Nationalists. And we did take out their super capitals. So, we'll see here. Military's 1, Empire's 1, Economy's 2, and Diplomacy's 1. Tell you what. You know what, guys? We're gonna start pushing the Jabami Nationalists. I don't know if we're gonna be able to make it, but I'm curious if we can start taking the system. Honestly, I'm not even gonna work to take systems at this point in time. I'm just gonna push. Let's go to Burchest. Now, see, my question is, so the Jabami Nationalists are over here. And scouts are moving around. So, my question is, are we going to be able to take over? Because they haven't pushed into our home world here yet, which we've got. We've got a pretty decent trade network going over there. But, can we move out a bit? So, we're about to take Findar, which is perfect.
We have obliterated an enemy's capital.
We just took out an enemy capital. Perfect.
With haste.
So now we got to get the guys to
Right
Mimban,
away.
Aldemar, and then
With haste.
Ketum. And then we'll start securing the second half of the
Standing by.
system there. So hostile culture is still too strong. I guess the culture does remain. See, my understanding was that the culture was going to, you know, throw back and around, but
Preparing the jump to hyperspace.
it doesn't instantly obliterate.
Awaiting your command.
Very clearly, that's the case. So, let's go ahead and get our... This is a much smaller defensive fleet. This is a more mobile
Jump
defensive
to
fleet here.
hyperspace.
But I am
Jump to
curious...
hyperspace.
We're about to find out. Watch there be
Preparing the
just a
jump to
giant fleet
hyperspace.
here at Burchest.
Phase jump complete.
Okay, not a giant
Preparing the
fleet
jump
here
to
at
hyperspace.
Burchest,
Order confirmed.
but there is some HoloNet relay stations. Let's go ahead and see if we can push them out of the system.
Jump
I
to
don't see why we
hyperspace.
wouldn't be able to here.
Jump to hyperspace. Jump to hyperspace.
Let's do
Jump to
a
hyperspace.
2 times speed up here.
Jump to hyperspace.
Now we're going to get twice the hyperspace jumps. Oh boy,
Preparing for hyperspace jump.
because we do still have the super capital. If we can start pushing back the Jabimi Nationalists, that'd be great.
Jump to hyperspace.
All my scouts that go to their home star just don't seem to do very well. They'll get into a couple systems, but if we can go ahead and mop up this one right now, that'd be amazing. Because they've got, what? Burchest, Drexel, Jirach, they do not have. And then I'm assuming these are all Praetorian Vong planets, which our second fleet is going to go ahead and push out of our system. I'm excited. It's a much better campaign than those Extra Life ones I had. I'm not going to lie right now. And we've got the Rex here too, which is really awesome. So they're doing work. Again, we are at 2 times speed now to go ahead and speed things up here. I always forget about the speed, the faster pace speed, and I don't think about it because whenever I do it, it takes frames. And I mean, we're already running at about 20, 30 frames because of all the units that are on screen. But I never really thought about it, And I was like, okay, well, no. It's not that big of a deal. Why in the world would I speed it up? But I've started to use speed up tool a lot more based on the live streams, because when you're coming down and you're waiting for a fleet to move and you're not in combat, there's really no point not to speed it up. Knock some time off the dial,
Calculate jump to light speed. Calculate jump to light speed.
And
Calculate
we're
jump to light
on,
speed.
we're still #1 military. The fact that we have the #1 military is what makes me want to push the Jabimi Nationalists. We'll keep relations up by giving them money. But I mean, we're going to be obliterating their planets here.
Calculate jump to light speed. Jump to hyperspace.
And it looks like our guys are almost at Ultimar, which is good. And our culture should slowly spread through this, you know, area.
Wiped out an enemy colony.
Okay, we got Burchest. Let's have our fighters go ahead and...
Calculating jump to light speed.
Oh, we also got Burchest.
Jump
Okay,
to
cool.
hyperspace.
I'll take it.
Factory is required. Intel reports an impending pirate raid.
Let's see. Are they going to hit us? Oh, they're going to hit us.
Calculate jump to light speed. Preparing the jump to hyperspace.
Now we're going to be in a bounty war
Preparing the
here.
jump to hyperspace.
I always hate
Preparing
getting
the
these
jump to hyperspace. Preparing the
bounty
jump to
wars. I
hyperspace.
try not to open
Preparing the
any
jump
like
to
menus
hyperspace. Calculate
because
jump
I
to
know
light
it's
speed.
going to happen immediately. It's the worst. Alright. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Phase jump complete.
We really should take out those pirates.
Jump to hyperspace.
So we
Value has been
also... Let's hit
Order
Drexel
confirmed.
here.
Jump to hyperspace.
So they're also starting to push in here as well. And it looks like they're going to immediately run away from us.
Jump to hyperspace.
They've got some battleships they're trying to send around. I mean, it makes sense. I understand it, but...
Preparing for hyperspace jump.
Alright.
Planet development finished. Our backup is joining the fight.
Let's see here. This double speed's kind of nice, though, isn't it? Especially early game. Now, since there's so much frame lag, I don't think it really matters too much. But early game, it'd probably be pretty
Preparing
nice.
for hyperspace jump.
Alright,
Jump
let's
to
get
hyperspace.
extractors up here. We'll go ahead and get a culture center.
Another structure is in the way.
Okay, calm down. A dock. And that's probably going to be it. Shield generator. And, of course, our favorite tool of the decade, landmines. Alright, so a lot of pirates right now. And it seems like the pirates are going to come for us. Unless...
Structure complete.
Awaiting your command. With haste. Targeting at
I do want to
maximum
take
firepower.
Keatum here. Oh, wow, and they're like high up in the system. So they're over the planet.
Ready.
Drifting for the win. I know they typically stay adjacent on the plane, you know, but it's kind of cool that they're
Scouts have
above
found a colonizable
at the
planet.
moment. Okay, let's go ahead and pop out of
Detected inbound
super
hostiles.
speed. Coming to Birch. Oh, it's just one. I'm not too concerned about that. It looks like these guys took Drexel as
Structure
well.
complete.
Well, let's
Right
go
away.
ahead, push Drexel.
With haste.
Structure complete.
See if we can take them out as well. Our frames are slowly deteriorating, but, you know,
Hostile
we try.
forces have arrived.
So what, they're going to come to Birchest? Yeah, they're going to come to Birchest. Not too concerned. It's what, one battleship, the Malevolence. We'll go ahead and leave it there. I'd like to take
We've wiped out
Keatum.
an
There
enemy
we go.
colony.
Yes, sir.
And
With haste.
Keatum is ours. Alright guys, well I'm going to go ahead and actually cut it here. We did take Keatum. We've wiped out the Praetorian Vong this episode, which is awesome. And now we've got to go ahead and push these guys out of the system in Drexel. And then I'm assuming this area here and this area here. So we'll see how that goes. But thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed my various philosophical conversations with myself as much as I did. I definitely needed that. And again, I apologize about the huge delay with this series. Just, you know, keep in mind, college student, that's kind of how it works. I have crazy schedules and they constantly change. But thanks for those of you that have stuck with me this entire series. And I may actually do another Sin series. We'll see. We'll think about it after we've completed this one and see how this one goes. But anyway, guys, my name is Nick, otherwise known here as Avialence. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, as well as subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for weekly gaming commentary and weekly video blogs. Thank you guys again. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Twitch. All the links are in the description below this video, and I can't thank you guys enough. Have a good one, everybody, and I will talk to you later this week with a couple other videos and, of course, another episode of Sins. Thanks for watching.